Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of eSports News. It's going to be a very special day on eSports News, guys, as we officially announced FPS Friday. So yes, first-person shooter games only on Fridays. That could be Halo, Overwatch, Call of Duty, whatever you guys want. So please comment down below your favorite FPS game. This episode alone, guys, is highly requested. It's going to be a lot of Overwatch news and a lot of Call of Duty news, but mainly a lot of Overwatch stories. As always, hope you guys all enjoy. Let's get right into it. And first up today, guys, and tons of Overwatch news, our first story coming from Masters Gaming Arena, or MGA, who announced their upcoming $75,000 Overwatch LAN. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the Overwatch scene, they have not had a lot of LAN events, especially as of this last year or so, just because the game's coming out, but a lot more LAN events have been announced this upcoming year, MGA being one of them. They will be actually announcing this sometime soon. There will be qualifiers and eventually a LAN event, so these actual qualifiers will be broken down into regions for North America, European, and also the Asian region, and we'll have 3 teams from each of those regions, and then 1 MSI team. That will make 10 teams in total who will qualify, eventually down to 4 teams who will be sent to London for this LAN event and the $75,000 prize pool. So really cool, and I love covering Overwatch news, guys, because it's definitely a growing esport. As many of you guys know, if you're fans of it, Overwatch definitely an upcoming esport. I believe, when it first came out, obviously one of the top rated games, but it was competing with games like Dota 2 and Smite and League of Legends and CSGO, and now all of a sudden it's considered maybe a number 3 game in the world. So definitely growing, guys. And with that, with this last few weeks, we've had a lot of teams announce their Overwatch teams, or a lot of organizations, that is, announce their new Overwatch squads, which kind of weird for me because coming from CSGO and many games that have 5-man rosters, we now go to Overwatch with a 6-man roster. So going to be kind of a lengthy episode here, guys, with our newest first team announced by Immortals. Like I said before, the newest squad, they'll actually be bringing in players 2easy, Zombs, Shadowburn, FCT, Forsaken, and Raucous to solidify their 6. We also have Team YP. Team YP, only known for 3 other teams. They dropped their CSGO roster not too long ago. They announced their new Overwatch roster. Kind of a rare move there for a kind of a small organization to all of a sudden get kind of anxious and all of a sudden pick up an Overwatch roster. They actually have a few players from their former Evolve players known as Rune and Spanners, a couple Rainbow Six Siege past players, and that will be Meds and Jagarin, and then we also have Torque and Nightwayne to actually finish out their roster as well. One of many teams who has announced an Overwatch roster this past few weeks and in the past few months, a definite growing esport here. And continuing on with Overwatch news, guys, we now have a few solidified rosters for the upcoming Overwatch World Cup sometime soon. First off, we have Team USA, who will host Seagull, the popular streamer of this game, Overwatch, and of course the star of Team Energy, as well as Tailspin, one of the best players in the world, also plays for Team Envious. And this USA lineup will be finished out by Stir, Adam, Gods, and Messer. And we also have Great Britain, who has announced their 6-member roster, first of which will be the YouTube star for Overwatch, Stylosa. I really like how so far these world teams are across Twitch streamers and also YouTubers, and of course pro players. So first off, they have Stylosa. They'll also have Dignitas member known as Numlocked, and their roster will continue on with one amongst many Equals, Crews, and Reels to finish out that Great Britain's roster. And the last announced world teams of the day will be Team Sweden, who looks absolutely stacked. Obviously, first off, the dominated voters, they actually kind of cool here for Overwatch. They gave this vote to the people. Over 50% of the votes came in for a player known as IDD. Of course, he's from Team Fnatic, very well known for the Overwatch team. They'll also be playing with Zay from Luminosity Gaming. Also, Envious teammates Chip and Coco. And then we also have Zebosai and TVIQ. So going to be a really cool squad to see there from Sweden, a really stacked squad. And I will also be covering all the other Worlds team as they're announced, guys. So far, those are the 3 world teams and rosters that have been announced. And then further Overwatch news, for any of you good North American fans out there, we've also had Team Liquid, who added a previous Quake player. In Overwatch so far, we've seen a lot of previous Quake players, Rainbow Six Siege players, just a lot of esports players in general have come back because of this Overwatch game. Another cool thing, and that's a previous Quake player who many of you guys probably know. He goes by the name of Rapha, and he'll be replacing former Liquid player and support player known as Dummy. That's also Tim Olsen, who left all the way back in July. If you guys did not know, he left a couple months ago, and now finally they have actually, replaced him. Obviously, though, if you guys do not know this, he actually left and eventually found Team Energy. He actually went, I believe it was to Team Mix-Up first, and he ended up on Team Energy squad. Again, probably a really good exchange here for both teams, as Liquid has picked up Rapha, and Team Energy is still playing with Dummy, who left Liquid quite some time ago. But yes, Rapha has finished out Liquid's Overwatch roster. And very last in today's Overwatch news, guys, we have Tazzerk. If you guys do not know about this, who in the past week became the first ever Overwatch player to reach level 1000 with just 640 hours of gameplay. This record might stand forever in Overwatch, guys. An incredible record here. This included over over 5,200 games, 76,000 kills, and only 32,000 deaths, but he actually dominates anyone else in the standings as of right now because the closest two players behind him are both Korean at level 934 and 910. So the real question is right now, guys, what level are all of you, and how long will this record stand? I mean, this is absolutely insane. This guy actually right now, I believe he's over 1,058 for level-wise. This guy is obsessed with the game Overwatch, but is currently technically the best player of Overwatch as of right now, at least the highest level player there might ever be. Will anyone ever catch Tazzerk? What level are you? And wow, what a nerd. And next up, guys, we do have our Call of Duty news. First off, I do want to thank eSports Earnings for coming out with this, guys. We have our top Call of Duty earners of all time. Obviously, after COD XP just last week, we want to talk about this. First off, if you guys are from New Zealand or Australia, you may understand these guys' names. We have Denzi, Buzzo, and also FRIDAY, who of all time have earned at least $40,000 or more. Then we have our top European players, who are Josh, Swanee, and Joey, who have all earned $90,000 or more. And then, of course, to no surprise, guys, we have our top American players and our top earners in Call of Duty of all time, and that is JCap, Karma, and Crimsix around at the top three, and they have all made at least a staggering $360,000 or more. Yes, $360,000 or more from playing video games. And I actually have a story about FaZe coming up soon, guys, about another guy on this list, as many of you guys know him, and that's Clayster. And just this week, we had a popular Call of Duty member, as many of you guys know, from FaZe Clan, who goes by the name of Clayster, one of the actual top earners as well for the American guys. I believe he rounds at the top 5. Still an amazing player as well. Game plays for FaZe Clan. As many of you guys know, FaZe Clan had kind of a disappointing finish at COD XP just last week. They finished in 8th place alongside Optic Gaming. Now, you might be thinking that's top 8. That's still really good. But for our organization like FaZe Clan, still a disappointment. Obviously, when Clayster tweeted out this, he also thought the same thing. He's also come out with a video on YouTube, guys, explaining what he's going to be doing differently in the future and how he needs to be a better leader. If you guys want to go check that out as well, that's also on YouTube. Now, also with this tweet came a lot of thoughts that maybe FaZe Clan will be having roster changes. A lot of hinted things across the board for Call of Duty with all these teams who were expected to do very well. They came in 8th place or lower. A lot of roster changes probably going to be coming soon in this somewhat of an off season. As many of you guys know, in this next month or so, the real only tournament we have is UMG Orlando. Not really sure what teams are all going to be going there as of right now, but that's the only real event until next year when we have another COD XP tournament. So really interesting to see what teams actually are changing their rosters. A lot of people thinking FaZe Clan is one of those teams and have already started making their guesses at what FaZe member is going to be kicked off the team. Now, personal opinion, guys, in my own opinion, I do think FaZe Clan, after the 8th place finish for COD XP, is going to have a roster change. Do I think it's going to be Clayster? Heck no. Do I think it's going to be Attached? Possibly. That would be my biggest hint at you guys at who FaZe Clan is going to be dropping. I will be covering this more sometime soon in the future, guys, but that's the last esports story for today. I hope you guys all enjoy this episode of Esports News, also known as FPS Friday. I cannot wait for FPS Friday every week because most often on my main channel, CSGO News, what you guys probably know me from, I usually don't do videos on that channel on Fridays. So FPS Fridays going to be a big thing here with Overwatch, Call of Duty, maybe Halo, whatever you guys consider FPS games, whatever your favorite FPS games are, leave them down below. I know a lot of you guys want Overwatch Snooze, and I loved covering that. Also Call of Duty, I'm slowly but surely learning more about it, but Overwatch especially is one of those games where I have a really big curiosity about to learn more of. So hope you guys all enjoy this episode of Esports News. Thank you, Derek, for editing this episode. As always, live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I like you. I'll see you guys all sometime next week with more Esports News. Remember, I like you. Goodbye! Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to a very exciting episode of CSGO News. I keep doing it, Derek. I keep doing it. Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to a very exciting episode of Esports News. This is actually brought to you guys by, it's going to be Hey. How's it going? Just chilling in my room all day, making videos. Woo. And up next, guys, for Call of Duty. Earnings, we do have Michael. Frick this. Why am I even laughing? And very last in today's CSGO. Oh, freaking CSGO.